Oh, wrong way. Will I be able to do this? No, I can't do that. Okay. Where'd it go? There we go. Okay. No, don't fall. I really want that landslide. Okay, so it's I'm not ready. Wrong way. I don't even know if it's live. No, I didn't click save. Okay, so let's find it. So I have the chat. There we are. Make sure that it's not on loud. Okay, how do I get to the chat there? That's it. Okay, there it is. It's swipe up for next stream. No thanks. I need to be able to read my chat. Charming. Okay, so I did put it on my wall that I was going to go live. I don't know if any of you see it. Oh, I think someone's seen it. Excuse me. Hi, Brett Blog from Adelaide in Australia. Say hi in the live chat. I did. Hi, Karen. And me. Hello, me. Hope me's fine. bit croaky, but, you know, doing my best. So how are you? Hopefully we'll get some more people in. I did say it was going to be a one in the garden, but Gary's doing DIY. He's sawing stuff. Well, that might be a bit much. Hello from the deserts of Idaho. This is the desert of the UK. Seriously, it's hot. It's dry. It's a dust bowl. So I'm renaming this a desert because it's pretty blah. It's barren and, you know, dry. No, your deserts are prettier than our deserts, that's for sure. Hi, Kay. Morning from Kentucky. And Tracy from Manchester. All right, Chuck. Champion. Probably butchered your accent. Do my best. But, hi, Gail. How are you all? Don't forget the thummies. Don't forget the thummies. So Gary's going to keep coming in and out. He's probably getting drinks and stuff like that because he's DIYing in the garden. Deserts, dry places, sage and not the green herbs. No, this place is just dust. Dust and mud. Winter it's mud, summer dust. Hi, Helen from the USA. Did I say hi, Gail? I think I did. Yeah, I'm sure I did. Got to see my chat by looking on a phone for it. I don't know. They change things so much. I used to be able to flip it so it would be landscape, but what I used to do doesn't work anymore, so I have to figure it out again. In Adelaide, it's about 5 degrees, and it's 9:45 p.m. Really? It's about 34 here today. This is England, for crying out loud, you know? Rain, and Wimbledon starts today. It'll rain soon. Wimbledon's always rains on Wimbledon. So, hi, Ianera, I think, from Germany. Hello, how are you? Good, I hope. So, what have you all been up to? I've just made a whip along video for this yarn. I don't want to knock the yarn off, but I was making this. It started off as just a swatch because I bought this Fairyland yarn and loved it. So I decided to swatch it, and I made one giant granny square with the whole swatch just to see what it would come up like, and loved it so much I thought I would use all the others, because when I bought them in packs of 4, and I did this one as a giveaway. So my Sunday Fun Day giveaway is for this, but I love it. It's so nice. I look really dark. I don't know why. I'm not sure if I do look this dark or if it's just my settings are down. Do I look dark to you guys, or do I not? I don't want to mess with this too much, but they're a little brighter. But yeah, this is the yarn. It is mega pretty. It's called Fairyland. Don't be ripped off online. There are people charging way too much for this yarn. I've managed to secure some, as long as it's not out of stock, because they had this funny little disclaimer that said, should we be out of stock, we will approach you for alternatives. Don't want any alternatives. I want to stock it in my shop, and that's that. So, and then I had, so it's in a bag, the ability to do back orders as well. So, yeah, I don't know. I just want that yarn and not anything else in its place. That's all I'm ordering from them. Let's go back. The Pacific Northwest is lovely. It's lovely here. It's just hot. Brett is, I'm working on amigurumi bees for a market stall I'm having at the weekend. Well done. Love my swatch blanket. It was lovely. So I just decided to keep going. I look normal enough for you. That's good. Thanks, Helen. Are you sure? Because, you know, I never normally do. I look like I've got panda eyes to me, but I probably don't. Hi, JK. How are you? Good, I hope. One of my little members there. Coolio. And Tracy, of course, and Kay. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, that blanket yarn, I might be getting it for my shop. I can't say for sure. I've ordered it and I've paid for it, but wherever I get it is, we'll have to see. And it won't be anywhere near the price that my lovely friend who messaged me paid for it. So, if I go down, I have to go up to go down. That's it. I couldn't see, I don't know why I need to see myself, but I couldn't see myself above the chat. So, yeah, look at me. I don't know why I want to look at me. Oh, yeah, I can see on here that my colouring's okay. That's all right then. Yeah. Well, oops, I've just gone off the chat. Oh, goodness gracious, will I find it again? Hope so. Oh, there it is. It's down there. And now it's stopped. What on earth have you done? No, that's not it. That's come off and go back in. I used to be so good at this stuff. Not anymore. Right, put it down. Oh, no, actually, you want to see the chat, don't you? Crochet in a blanket with the sedge stitch in pink and cream. Oh, that sounds nice. Why does it keep telling me to say hello? Hi. But I'm signed in as my other alter ego, Hobby Rocks, which is my knitting channel. It is indeed. I have basic knitting tutorials on there. We'll do more one day. What's in my mug? I don't have anything. I did have a big cup of tea when I was doing my whip along, and gigantic cup that was sent for my birthday. So I had that tea, and I thought I'd just bring some water in. I need something, obviously, because I've had this virus, and you know, every now and then I do need a drink. But I'm so much better today. I'm able to talk on the videos and not have to keep stopping for coughing and spluttering and blowing of nose. But I did just have one of these because they're like my little life savers, really. Little life savers. And my hair was all brushed earlier, but look at it now. That dark bit really does annoy me. It's, I don't normally see it from the video that I normally do, but really sort of see it now. Never goes, that bit. It's just really weird. Just like I've been splodged on or something. But it's all, I just washed it, so it ought to be looking nicer than that. Never mind. What? What's here? She is a Brit. Oh, a Brit, sorry. I need the glasses, really. She's a Brit, so if it's not tea, then it's gin. It would have been gin. That was my tipple. It was, once upon a time. I actually liked many, many, many different drinks. I wasn't just a gin drinker. But the thing I drank the most when I went out was gin, especially Bombay Sapphire gin and tonic with a slice of lime and a little bit of ice. That was what I really, really liked. But I also liked rum and blackcurrant and Copperberg ciders and any fruit ciders, really. Apart from mixed berries, hate that. Ugh, just don't like it. Don't like real cider. It's too dry for me. It makes me feel eh. But to be fair, I don't drink anything anymore. Hi, Gail. Do I have two Gails? I said I do. Yes, I do. I do have two Gails, I believe. I'm going back to see. Yeah. got to have 2 girls, haven't you, really? So yeah, don't drink anymore since my operation. When I say I don't drink anymore, I always think people must wonder if I was an alcoholic. I don't drink anymore. Wasn't the case. So really, this wasn't. But I had a cancer, and that cancer was a drinker / smoker's cancer. And I wouldn't mind, but I didn't really do either. I drank socially, and not that often. And I never smoked. But I was just unlucky to get the type of cancer that I did. But because it was a cause that, you know, it can be a cause, I decided I wasn't going to drink anymore because I didn't want to invite it back in my life. So I've given it up and I don't drink anything. And if I ever do, sort of at Christmas, I'd have like a little glass of Bailey's, I'd have a sip, then say, no, Gary, you drink it. But a little while ago, we were out for a meal and we'd been to this place before with a party of people, and then we went on our own. And I said, I'll have an alcohol-free copper bag, strawberry and lime flavour. And I was halfway through it, and I looked at the bottle and it said 4%. And I called her over and I went, this was supposed to be alcohol-free. And she just said, oh, I'm sorry. And she went and got me another one. And I thought, it really weren't good enough, you know. They didn't say, you know, we'll take it off the bill or we'll give you a discount or anything. They weren't sorry enough, because the way I looked at it, if I was a recovering alcoholic, that would have started me off. If I was drinking earlier and I didn't want to be over the limit to drive home, that could have tipped me over the limit. It was just sheer that I didn't want to drink, you know. But all those other scenarios, if I was severely allergic to it, you know, and they'd given it to me, I thought that was really bad, that they weren't really sorry enough, in my opinion. It was just a, oops, sorry, here's another one, without the alcohol. Yeah, it happens, I guess, you know, in life. But I suppose if I was severely allergic, I might have scrutinised the label just in case. But, you know, it was loud in there. It's their own fans that were loud, you know, their aircon unit thing was very loud. So that was the reason they probably couldn't hear it, or she just got the wrong one. I think she did hear it because she knew I was drinking it the night before when we went in. So what are you all up to? Are you working on great big projects? That was getting really heavy to work on because it's quite yarn dense, that blanket. So I did a hour of chatting in the whip along, and then I did my vlog chat for tomorrow, and now here I am chatting again. So it's a good test for the voice today. You became diabetic, so there went your drinking days. Well, I know a lot of people, like my ex is diabetic, and he drinks. The reason I never used to drink much was because he drank way too much in life, you know. And I always had to be the sober one because I was always the driver. I was always the one that took the kids places. He could take them, but he could never pick them up. And he drinks every day of his life, and he's drinks too much. So I can't say he is an alcoholic, because he's not one of those people that misses time. Well, I suppose he might miss time, but he doesn't wake up, you know, swimming in his own vomit or anything stupid like that. He just drinks too much all the time. So they call it a high-functioning alcoholic, don't they? Where you can get on with your life, and he can. So because he was always like that, it really put me off, and I didn't want to ever be drinking indoors and that sort of thing. And I found it hard to adjust when I met Gary, because for a start, when we used to go out, I used to sort of, after his fourth drink, I used to get a little bit, you've had enough now, haven't you? And it was something, I'm not him. I know. But I just didn't want to be back there, you know. So it was something I never wanted to drink at home because I just see too much of it. So yeah, that was my foray into home drinking. So I never really did it. Snowy Cat, woo woo, hello. Working on a throw for granddaughter in pinks and purples. It sounds nice. The chat's disappeared. Oh, there it is. I must be totally nuts because I'm working on a crew neck sweater that is knit and one that is crochet. Oh, bless you. Say hi in the chat. Okay. Stop bugging me to do that. Say hi as someone else. Well, Hobby Rocks. I was doing something on my Hobby Rocks on this one, so that's why I'm on it. But but yeah, when I did drink, it was good shout. It was gin. I think I drank gin because my parents drank gin, and you know what you like when you're a kid? Well, I don't know what they like now because they reckon it's not good and it destroys brain cells. But back then, explains a lot. But you know, back then we used to just dive into our parents' drinks and beer, whatever they had. Taste this one, babe. My mum used to do that to me all the time. She had a pub. She used to run, and I looked older than I was, so I used to go in and I'd just be sitting there with my Coke, and all of a sudden she'd come over with this concoction, and she'd say, "See if you like this one." And I'd taste it, and I'd go, "Yeah, that's not bad. What's that?" And she'd say, "That's a Pimm's, or, you know, it's a port and lemon, or, you know, rum and black currant." That was one of my favourites. Yeah, it was quite, I think as well, Mum was quite shrewd in a way, because she did that. I never rebelled and went out and got slaughtered, you know, like you do when you're a teenager. I didn't go out doing all that sort of stuff because I'd already had access to it, and it wasn't something that was taboo and wrong. So, and I was stupid enough, really, drinking Coke. So I didn't need alcohol in there as well. I'd have got into all kinds of trouble. I was bad enough as it was, just out there. Pretty much out there I was. Where's Snowy Cat gone? Can't drink anymore because I just found out I have. What's CKD3? I've never heard of that. What is it? Oh, stop telling me to say hi. Goodness sake. It keeps coming up and saying, say hi in the chat. I'm sure it doesn't want me, like, in this chat going, hi, every 5 minutes. So what is CKD3? I can't say that those initials are telling me. So I hope it's not bad, whatever it is. Oh, it's gone again. This is so sensitive. Oh, chronic kidney disease. Oh no. I was a bit worried about me, you know, with that sort of thing, because recently I had blood tests because I joined this new surgery, and in the past, a long while ago, they said in my other surgery that I had the start of fatty liver, and I thought, oh God, that don't sound good. So didn't curb my ways much. In fact, the other way, and haven't really looked after myself, if you like. So when I had the blood test, I thought, oh, I bet I definitely got fatty liver now. And it come back, my liver function and my kidneys were fine. And I thought, wow, that's good, because I have, you know, been on low carb, off low carb, on low carb, off low carb, and all sorts of things for so long that I just thought, well, I probably shot them to bits, but it was all right. Although it did come up that I had a different blood test from somewhere else. I had a, what's it called? Look after your skin. What are they called? Can't remember. But I was under this other doctor for a while. Oh, it's really gone out my head. Never mind. Dermatologist, that's it. And she did a blood test, and it came up that I had too much red blood cells, like high hemoglobin, high hemocrit, which sounds lovely, and something else. And the doctor said that needs repeating in a couple of, like, 6 weeks or so. And I booked it up to repeat it, and I had to cancel it for some reason. So I now have a day. I had 3 reasons to visit the doctor, and I've got them all in the same day. I have a blood test, I have a smear test, and something else that's gone out of my head. It's like all 3 in one day. Oh, asthma check. So like I'm having an MOT. One day of just She'll be there all morning. It's like, what? Hey, Sylvia. Well, woo, woo, hello. And Tracy. Hello, Tracy. How are you? Hi, guys. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. So, what have they said? What have you got to do? Can you kind of reverse it? I know that a certain amount of liver damage can be reversed because the liver regenerates, but I don't know much about that. Do you have to have any? Hopefully, not any kind of what's it called, dialysis or anything. So, how are you guys? Just come in. Well, good to see you. Don't forget the thummies. So I'm well out of practice. As you can see, those of you just come in, I'm not in the garden. I was going to do the garden, but then Gary is sawing. And he's doing it with an electric saw. And he's sawing those panels that we put up in. Because they're hollow, it makes a strange noise when you saw it. It sounds a bit like the saw and this noise that goes ticky, 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 ticky. It's really, really off-putting and annoying. So I figured it's also extremely hot out there. So I'd stay in and just see how we get on in here. Yeah, dialysis, isn't it? Hopefully you don't have to have that when they can manage it. I don't know much about it, to be honest with you. It's not something that I've had a lot of experience with, or anybody that has been around me has had any experience with. It's a miracle that my ex didn't damage his kidneys many, many, many times over. But whenever we'd have any blood tests, they'd always come back that it was fine. So we never had an incentive to just stop, you know. But I'm surprised, you know, that he didn't damage them. Damaged other things, I guess. Can you send Gary to Nottingham? I could loan him out. Rent a gas. Rent a gas. Bless him. What is, you know, he did the back of the caravan with his brothers. Yarn van. Did the back of the yarn van. I'll show it one day. And he's done the path that was leading to the back of the yarn van. And he actually did a hard standing path behind it so that when they worked, they could work on it with the, because it was terrible. It was, there was bars and goodness knows what, very uneven ground, holes here and bricks and pipes sticking out the ground. It was just ridiculous, really, what was there. So he's levelled that off and made it good to stand on so that they could work around there. And also, if you need to walk around there, it's no hazards anymore, not hazardous. So he's done that, and then he had in some more of that cladding to go in our hallway of our conservatory all the way along, and it'll be wipeable, which would be brilliant because, as you know, we live in a dust bowl here, and I think that's what clogged up my aircon in the living room and made the pipework clogged, because obviously at the front of the house that gets more of it with the road, and it just straight over, so it affected that one where we come in. I suppose there's residue of it on our clothing, and plus we cook and we haven't got a door, so there's more to go and clog up the one in the living room. So yeah, that I can't remember why I was saying that now. Oh, big chat. Let's have a look. So yeah, that's what he's doing, the one for the hallway. That was it. Not life-threatening. Number 3 just means it's at the stage where you can reverse it. Oh, that's good. Just have to be careful what you eat and drink. Nothing that's high. Where did that go? Hang on. Nothing that's high in potassium, like bananas. I've got a fridge full of those at the minute. So you can't come round and eat bananas. And Sylvia's all stiff. Decided yesterday morning to drive. I was passenger. 4 hours each way to Wolverhampton for your great niece and nephew's christening. It was worth to see so much family. Ah, that's nice. It is, isn't it? I was telling me to say hi again. It's just stop it. Stop it. I guess it thinks I'm a a person who's not contributing because it's not there as me, which is weird. I suppose it just thinks I'm a lurker. Lurker. Hi, another Tracy. Hi. So I had 2 Gails, now I've got 2 Tracys. Well, I've got 3 if you consider me as well. And Mama knows best, Gwen. Good morning. Don't forget the thummies, guys. So how are you? What have you been up to? And it's not the garden. I know I said I'd do the garden, but there's too much sawing and DIYing going on out there. It's very loud. Plus, ridiculously hot. So maybe another time I'll take it all out there and see if I can get it done out there. It'd be good, wouldn't it? But I don't know what, you know, it'd be a bit uncomfortable because I can't sit on my egg chair anymore. Can't get up there. And it'd be at the back of the end of the garden where it's shady. Hopefully a bit cooler then. Not so much sun. But yeah, I'll give it a go. Just not when there's sawing and all that going on. Just realised that I'm here. I did put it on my wall yesterday that I was thinking of doing it, but I know not everybody sees it. 31 there today. They said it would get up to like 30, 32 at least, and 30, is it 34, 35 tomorrow? My God, can it cook? So, whereabouts, I know you've probably told me in the past, but whereabouts are you, Tracy, for your 31 degrees? The good thing about this place is there's a sea breeze usually when you get one. If you haven't got one, it's just awful. But yeah, at least we do sometimes have that cooling it down. It's boiling outside. Gonna leave you shopping until tonight. Have some of my chats to catch up on. Well, today I have done nothing but chat, nothing but talk. So took the car in, bought a little bit of yarn, and came home via the farm shop and a few other places, and then got in and I thought, right, I'm going to film a whip along because I wanted to finish that blanket that I started with that Fairyland yarn. So I did a bit of that, and then I thought, well, I might film my chat now because I'm going to do a live later. I've also got to pick car up, so once it's done. So I thought, okay, I'll do the chat now then. So I finished the chat, looked at the time, and thought, oh, it's about time for the live. So I've done nothing but talk. And it's been a good test for my voice now. And I'm obviously not over it completely, but so much better than I was because I wouldn't have been able to do it. You know, the last few days I've just been nasty. Stevenage. Not nasty Stevenage. I've been nasty and then Stevenage. It's only 27 degrees in Manchester. It's always colder up there, apart from the odd day. Hi, Rebecca. Caught me live. Yay. If I press that to see it, it disappears. Hope you're well. From Indiana. 28.5 in Chesterfield, south of Sheffield. I'm glad you put that because I wouldn't have known where that was. So, yeah, we went to Manchester once. I used to work for Asda. It was a concept called Dales. Some of you who had Dales in your town might know of them, but not everywhere had Dales. And it was brilliant, to be honest, but we had to go up to Asda House once for a meeting with the buyers, and because I was one of the heads. So it was 90 degrees in the south. I don't know what it was in Celsius because I didn't operate in Celsius back then. I still don't know it that well. But back then it was like no chance. It was like a foreign language. So yeah, it was 90 odd. Shirt sleeves, boiling. Got in the car. By the time we got to Manchester, it was raining and cold. We were shivering and wet. It was like, what? It's like we've been through different seasons to get here, you know? It's just crazy. It's just freezing. And we were like, it was 90 degrees when we left. Just mad. I have got my water, look. I did have a big old cup of tea when I was doing the whip along. But, I mean, when I say big, it was that one that Linda bought me for my birthday. It was rather a size. And I haven't heard from her for a while, so I must reach out and see if she's okay, because I know she wasn't well, and I haven't seen a comment for a while, so I must give her a little message and see if she's all right. You know what it's like when you're busy and ill and all sorts of stuff. Yesterday I got in the car and the husband gave you that look. Hang on, I touched it again. And said, no, I did not buy yarn. I bought a magazine that came with yarn. Hi, Rebecca. Oh, I've already said hello, haven't I? It's been 90 there. See, I don't mind. I'm a bit weird. I'm kind of on the cusp of these now. I'm starting to realise that, you know, upper 20s, 30s, and then going into the 40s is blooming hot. So going up into the 40s, you're approaching the 100, 105. So like if you're in the upper 30s, then you're, you know, 80s to 90s. So I'm kind of getting there now, but it took me a long time, you know. And what did it was, you know, when I went to like Vegas and they said, oh, it's going to be 40. I mean, like, what? It's going to be what? That sounds cold to me. What's 40? I looked it up and I thought, it's not going to be cold. So it kind of started to make me understand. But yeah, stupid common market. Should have just stayed as we were, you know. What was that? Oh yeah, the magazine that came with yarn. So yeah, I'm so much better now. Not perfect, but last night I couldn't sleep. If I look really haggard and tired, it's because I had like 3 hours sleep from say about 5, and I had to set my alarm. Well, Gary got me up at 8. So yeah, 3 hours sleep. It's not great, but I suppose it's better than no, no sleep, isn't it? Just about. It was the night before, because of the night before that I hadn't slept because I was so wheezy and ill. Then I slept too long, and I got up at 10:30, and that meant when I went to bed last night, I was not tired enough, and I couldn't sleep, and then I was wheezy. So yeah, I got 3 hours. But while I was up, I played a bit of Tetris, and then I thought, cool, you know that square that's been on your mind? Go do it. So I did that. And after I'd sort of completed it, I thought, go to bed now. Try and get a few hours at least. So I did. But I didn't think I was going to get off at all and get any sleep. It's just so, I don't know, it wasn't hot. I had the aircon on, it was nice and cool in there. But I don't know. Gary was snoring very loud as well because he's now got a bit of a cold. I didn't have a cold, which is odd. So unless, if we've got, I had a raging sore throat and he didn't. So I don't know if we've got the same thing. I'm just hoping I don't catch something else, if you know what I mean. Don't want anything, especially a cold. You know, this was congestion enough for anybody. I don't want any more. So you've all gone very quiet. So I was hoping that there'd be something there for me to speak about. So what can we talk about then? The yarn I bought. Okay, well, I went in Home Bargains, and I don't buy a great deal of yarn from Home Bargains, but occasionally, if I pop in there, I might see something that catches my eye. Like, do you remember when I bought those gigantic balls of the blue and then the purpley kind of marbled yarn? Like those sort of things, out of the ordinary, and I just thought, well, they look kind of nice. So this time I found another yarn, so I bought that. I'm showing it on my chat tomorrow. But I know I've got a little idea of what I want to make with it as well. So yeah, I have to figure that one out. You're still not said anything. Are you still there? If somebody says yes, I'm just talking to myself. Somebody said something, thank goodness for that. Just watching the weather for tomorrow, it's going to be 31 there. Picked 2 of the blue up last week. Oh, they're lovely, aren't they? I was going to make a shawl or a great big blanket with that. But I don't know what stitch I want to use with it. Because I did do a little swatch up. And it's, how can I put it? It makes stitches long. Does that make sense? It makes them leggy. It's not like that, this, you kind of use this and you know you've got little tight concise grannies with it. That's probably the wrong side. No, it's not. But yeah, you've got nice kind of little tight grannies. But that, you use it and it suddenly makes you feel like it's, whoops, going to fall on the floor. I had a nasty feeling I was going to knock that whole thing off then. So, yeah, just kind of not like that, if you know what I mean. I don't know what to explain it as, but I know what I mean. 33 and above. Mid-90s. And you're going to be chasing 100. See, that's my kind of language. I understand that. Why did we need to change blooming Europe? Seriously. I was perfectly happy with my imperial measurements. Don't mind the money changing from 120 pennies in a pound to 100. That just made it easier to understand. But the rest of it, not so much. Yes, Sylvia is in Kent with me. Suzanne, hi. Haven't seen you for a while. Don't forget the thummies if you just come in. So yeah, we're in just a little bit, not the same part of Kent, but not too far away really. So yeah, I've kind of feel like sort of starting up the yarn quests again, but I have so much yarn. And I don't, you know, when I do buy yarns for yarn quests or when I'm out and about, I know I put them in my mystery boxes. So it's, but the high street one, the high street mystery box, I do put them in there. So things like if I, like that Fairyland yarn and stuff like that, if I end up not using it, that's 9 times out of 10 where I put it. But I am getting that for my shop, hopefully, fingers crossed. Not the day to work on a heavy blanket. Maybe we'll break out the cotton for some household projects. I know what you mean. I always, that's a blanket. And I was sitting there covered in a blanket, but then I do have air conditioning on. Your B&M has stopped selling yarn. Well, to be honest with you, B&M's yarn is such a letdown. When I first started showing the B&M yarn, it was really good stuff. And there was always a variety. But for the last 2 years, I ain't bothered with it. I've not shown any B&M yarn because every time I go in there, it's the same stuff. The same old stuff over and over again, and limited as well. Not all the range they used to have, very, very limited, but they've been surpassed, absolutely surpassed in a big way by the range. Now, the range reminds me of Hobby Lobby. When I was in the States and I went in Hobby Lobby, and they've got all those bits in there. And the range just looks like a much bigger version of a Hobby Lobby because there's so much in there. But they didn't have a great deal of yarn when I've been in the past. But when they opened the new one here, I did that video and said, and the video title was, I've never seen so much yarn in a range. And the other day I went back and bought some more yarn, and they still had all those types of yarn they had before. I didn't buy any more because I got loads of it, but they still had loads. So that was good. They're not gone down. But B&M has been abysmal for yarn. Really has. What's cotton like to crochet with? I've never bought any. It depends on it, to be honest with you. B&M in Folkestone and Ashford are awful for yarn. See, same here. I'm making a cotton picnic blanket. And the yarn that I've been using is quite soft on the hands, I'd say. It's not the roughest of cotton. And it's like DK weight. Try to keep consistent sizing. And just doing it like a sampler stitch blanket. And it's been fine. I also made a bucket hat, which I don't know if I can show you, is, apart from the mess, over there on my mannequin's head. That's Joan, by the way, if you didn't know. That's Joan. Joan, one of my severed head collection. You've noticed that about B&M lately. Not as good quality either. The range is far superior. It is. Halfway through a double-sized blanket, it's just too heavy to work on. It really is, isn't it? Aran as well. Well, yeah, would be heavy. I mean, I made that one for Gary. It was chunky. And when I used to turn it, I used to have to, so I'd be sitting here crocheting and I'd have to turn the whole thing and bring it all out. It's really hard to just maneuver. But it was the only way. Doing it on live streams was the only way I was going to finish it, to be honest with you, because I was just putting it off and putting it off. So the range is good. The range is good, but I will say there's some of their yarns I wouldn't give house room to. They're bog standard DK colours. They're lovely colours, but they're so rough. And same with their Aran. I just wouldn't buy it, because if I can get special DK for the price that I can get special DK, which is anti-pilling and super soft, why would I get that? You know, it's just, that's scratchy, and it feels like the yarn you get in magazines sometimes that they give you for amigurumis. Cotton can be lovely, but it's great to use for cleaning and drying. So lovely cotton from Premier for a summer top. That is very true. So a long time ago, I used some King Cole cotton silk. Still got it somewhere. Still got the project somewhere. I was making a summer festival top, and I did so many squares and put it aside, and now I've no idea where that is. I haven't seen it for a very long time. I've got the tutorials though, so far. I kind of never did find it to film the rest of it. But every now and then I do a little search for things I've uploaded that I've not put on, and there's about 5. One of them is one of my squares that I'm going to do, but I need to do more to it. Well, maybe 2 of them are that. But then there's this project, and then there's a cotton bag that I was doing. I don't know if some of you might remember that. It was circle into a square, and I was making a cotton bag out of denim cotton. Yeah, all I need to do for that is line it and make a strap, and it's done. And yet all of those tutorials are there waiting for me to do that. Just such a slacker. Such a slacker. Hi, Lucille. From Cape Town. The range used to do James C. Brett, but they're not had it in for a while. The range, used to go to one in Chatham, a bit further away. Or Dockside it was. And I'd go in there, and every now and then they'd have like a big kind of stand with Bernat on it. And they'd have all these different brands, but now they just do their own. Well, they do Divanti, which is not really their own, because they used to sell it in Wilko's. So if you go on Wilko online, you can buy Divanti. So it's obviously not specifically theirs, but whether it's exclusively theirs now, because they're the only store around, I don't know, but it's not one you can buy anywhere else. Lion Brand has some nice cotton blend. I was going to get because I can get the Lion Brand 24/7 cotton for my shop, but obviously I'm limited on space, especially as half the yarn van is taken up with my junk. When I say junk, it's not junk. It's shoes, bags and clothes that I can't fit into anymore, but I want to. That's what's out there. But I did get rid of some of the bags and shoes and boots, because, you know, I looked at them one day and I thought, you're never going to use this, you're never going. So I put it in a big charity bag. And I've done that a couple of times. But I need to be more mercenary when I look into these things, and really, are you going to use this again? Are you going to wear those again? Are you going to use that bag? And the answer 9 times out of 10 is no. And then I put it in the bag, and then I think, but I used to like that. I get it back. Just terrible. And I'm a hoarder for it, you know. And I think my mum's family were all the same with clothes. My Uncle Jack and my mum were terrible clothes hoarders, and I'm the same. And Paul, my son, is the same. And Michael is the same with jackets. But yeah, he's got so many jackets, it's unreal. I had some Wilko yarn when it was Yarn Fair. Yarn Fair, let me think. Yarn Fair's now, what's the name? Pound Stretcher. Yarn Fair, Tootsie and others in Pound Stretcher. And they can be good for yarn, and then they can just go completely rubbish for years. And then all of a sudden they get some good yarns in. But I think when the prices went up, they stopped really doing the yarns so much in these other shops. But yeah, Tootsie is Yarn Fair. Yarn Fair is in Pound Stretcher. But what I used to get in Wilko was, do you remember they did that Canon yarn, like Canaan? It was almost like they were ripping off Caron and called it Canon. They had that, and then they had the same yarn, must have got moaned at and taken to court or something. Suddenly the same yarn changed its name. I can't remember what it changed to, but they used to do yarn in there with different, they had some actually really nice stuff in there from time to time, a bit like the range do, or used to. You know, you go through there and you think that's good, but that's not. So like home bargains is now. Sometimes you can get something that's really, really nice, and other times you go in there and it's just all the bog standard DKs, and you think, I'm not paying that when I can get special DK. So yeah, I never buy those, but I certainly wouldn't buy them from the range. They're rough as a badger's backside. Seriously, they're not great. Remember the... Oh, you said it. Yes, I do. Yeah. Well, yeah, I just felt like they were ripping off Caron because they called it Canon. Yeah. And then it all just miraculously changed its name overnight once to Aurora or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly. I think it was like Aurora or Aura or something. I don't know. But yeah. But do you remember Woolworths? Oh, when I was a kid, I used to get wool. Because we didn't call it yarn, we called it wool. In the wool department and in the co-op. We used to have a great big co-op department store that had a lovely wool department. And they did loads in there, tons of it. The whole bottom floor of the massive department store was all one side of it was like sewing machines and fabrics and yarn and everything that you can think of that goes along with knitting and crochet and everything else. And the other side was a toy shop. So I used to take Paul down there because I hadn't had Michael, and he would be happy and I would be happy at the same time. So it was like the perfect shop for both of us when he was a kid. Yeah, when we had department stores. I loved department stores. We had two in our town. We had that one. And then up the other end of town, we had an Alders. And in the end, they shut most of their stores. And the only one that was left was in Chatham. And it then became a Debenhams. And now it's, I don't even know what it is now. But yeah, I loved department stores. But now, even the ones that were left, like John Lewis, House of Fraser, they're not the same now. Our House of Fraser in Maidstone is just, it's like so many concessions. And rather than the ones that they used to have that were really cool, like Label Lab and a few others, they've got like Sports Direct in there. It's like, yeah, okay, don't want that. You have Woolies. Oh, I'm so jealous. Gonna go to Australia to go to Woolies. I loved Woolies. Kerry, hello. Mwah. I was just saying earlier that I'd been in your live last night. And I left you to go to bed, didn't I? And did I sleep? No. I didn't get to sleep until 5 a.m. No. So I got up and crocheted in the end. I designed a square. You still have 250-gram balls of carp yarn. You used to buy lots in BHS when your kids were little. I don't think we had... I think I had BHS at the Saver Centre, but I don't think they had yarn. If they did, I never saw it. Never saw it. But yeah, I used to love Woolworths yarn. But you could get anything in there, couldn't you? You could actually go in there and get one of the top 40 CDs or records back in the day. You could go in there and get a record. You could go and get some yarn. You get some baby clothes and some pick and mix. A drink. Anything, and you got something for the garden, something for the... You get anything. And yet there weren't huge shops, but they were just chock-a-block, weren't they? Toys and games and everything in there. It was crazy, really, wasn't it? Kerry has been 46 months. Way tutorial queen of rocks. Oh, I love you too. Thank you so much. Oh, bless you. 46 months. It's funny, isn't it, when they call it months and not years? I mean, they do that with babies, don't they? When you say, how old is it? Oh, 36 months. You think, 3 then. You know, why? Why months? You know, it's not. It's 3. It's fair. I mean, I can understand it. You know, then they're 11 months old. Now they're 1. And then maybe they're like, you want to say it until they're kind of 2, 2.5, I guess. But you just carry it on. I wonder how many months old I am now. I did it once, didn't I? I did it in my chat. I'm not, it was something like, I can't remember now. Quite a lot of months. Anyway, just going to say how old I am in months from now on. Make me sound like Methuselah, wouldn't it, really? Oh, bless you, Kerry. It's good to see you. So, yeah, I've been doing nothing but chat today. Now I've got my voice back. It seems like I'm just going to use it all the time. So you're not going to shut up today. But if my phone rings, which I don't even know where it is, which isn't good, if it rings, I'm going to have to suddenly go, because that will mean my car's ready. It's having its MOT. You know, the guys across the pond, apart from Kerry, she'll know because I said it last night. It's a test we have to do on cars over 3 years old. Every year there's an MOT, and it's a certificate of roadworthiness, and it has to pass on its brakes and some ridiculous things. Like Gary's got this indicator on his tyres, and one of his indicators on the tyre, I can't remember what it was now. It wasn't tyres, something else. Anyway, it was a sensor, and the sensors weren't working. But if his car didn't have them, because many cars don't, wouldn't have failed the MOT. But because he had these sensors and they weren't working, it failed. It wasn't that it wasn't roadworthy, though. It just seems silly that it would fail on a sensor that other people don't have. Makes you sick. I wish we still had Woolies as well. The wonder of Woolies. Absolutely loved that shop. Gary did as well. He used to go in there for his pick and mix. You know, he's a bit of a fiend when it comes to pick and mix. He does love a pick and mix. Especially snakes. So he comes out, wherever he goes, he comes out a bunch of snakes, like fistful of snakes. Used to do that at the cinema. We haven't been to the cinema in a long time. We've let our cinema cards go. It wasn't that we don't like going anymore. It's annoying that we either go to Cineworld, which is quite a way away, so we'd have to pay petrol to get there, but it's free parking, or we go to the one that we were going to in Sittingbourne, which is called The Light. Love that cinema. It's really, really nice. You've got to pay to park. And they've been really crafty with the car parking, the council. They have taken 3 hours off the car parks, so you can do 2 hours or 4. And 4 is too many, but 4 you need 3 to see a movie, and they know it, and so they've taken it off. So you've got no choice but to pay £5.40 or £5.60, whatever it is, because you can't get 3, and you're not going to get 2 and come out halfway through a film and put an hour on. So you've got no choice but to pay far too much for your parking, and it's a take. It is. But if the cinema said get the ticket and we'll reimburse you 50% of it or something, that would be fine, but they don't. And so we stopped going, and mostly we stopped going because Gary's always doing DIY, so we can never go because he's always sawing and banging at something. It's bad enough saying your age in years but months. Yeah, but nobody would be able to work that out. Wouldn't have a calculator, would they? Aussie Robin, hi. We call it a roadworthy certificate in Australia. Oops, if I press it, it goes. So annoying. Depending on what state you live in, whether you need it every year. My car's 21 this year, and you don't need to get one. I think once it becomes a vintage car, I don't know how old class is vintage, but once it is a vintage, you don't need to get one anymore. I don't think you have to pay road tax either, do you? Maybe you do need an MOT, but no road tax. I don't know. I've never had a car. I've had some old bangers in my time, but I've never had one. I nearly did. My dad gave me an MG Sprite, a midget it was, and he gave it to me, and I could have had it done up, and yeah, hang on. Oh, I don't know what that was, but it's been dispatched. Now, remember I ordered it, but I have no idea what it is. Something called Lalium. I don't know. So, what was that now? I don't know. Something just arrived through the post, and I opened it. Oh, it was a Christmas present for Paul. Yeah, but I don't know what that is. I remember ordering it, though. Remember the name. But yeah, I've never had a car that was proper vintage to know. My dad has, but, you know, I didn't have. Trying the frozen bottle in front of your fan. Your daughter's car failed Thursday. She's a £400 bill. Mine's going to be a pretty penny, just the service and MOT. So I hope it don't fail much anyway. Everyone's saying hello to everybody. And something's just daft. I can't remember what it was. Fat fingers. Sent too early. You think they would have it in between payments for the cinema? I know, that is silly. Oh, that's what's daft. Hi, Cat. Welcome. Don't forget the thummy, guys. I think I'm all caught up. I am. Every time I touch it, disappears. So blooming annoying. I'm so glad that I've got my voice back. You might be glad I haven't soon. Don't she shut up for 5 seconds. Be a bit of a weird chat though, wouldn't it? Would be a weird vibe if I didn't. Just sat there. Oh. I wonder where I put my phone. I thought it was in here. It was in here. It was there. I didn't really take it out, did I? Where is it? Don't know. I guess I'll find out if it rings. Maybe. Oops. It was here. Is it fall on the floor? No. I don't know. How long have I been chatting away for? Anyone able to say? I've just got this little thing in the corner all the time that says 46 months. Wow. I think you might have been my first member, you know, Kerry. You might have been. Bless your heart. She's so sweet, is Kerry. Hi, Kelly. Just a lady from London, Ontario. Wow, different out of London. I'm so relieved it's on its way out now. This virus has been, and it's not been the worst of anything, you know, but it's just been too long, and whenever it goes to your chest, it's never good. But, you know, it's not been the worst sore throat, and it hasn't been the worst cough, and there certainly hasn't been loads of nose blowing. What there has been awful, but it's not been like totally blocked ever. So yeah, as long as I can breathe, it's usually not a bad one for me. But everything, now that I've had this like lymph nodes removed, everything goes to my chest. So yeah, I've never heard of another London. I know that, you know, in Canada there's quite a lot of, and America there's lots of their place names, and yeah, like I lived in Edmonton, which is near London, just North London, Middlesex, North London, and there's an Edmonton in, and I had a pen friend who came from Edmonton, and I lived in Edmonton, but we were just different Edmontons, and that was bizarre. Her name was Sylvie, and we wrote to each other for quite some time. We had an Australian teacher called Mr. Ennis, and he thought it'd be cool for all of his class to write to his previous class. So we got pen friends that way, and we wrote for a while. It was quite cool. And then I had one in America called Susie, and she was lovely. We had this real kind of bond. Sadly, she died young, which was awful. But I'm still friends with her daughters. Not so much, I mean, I'm friends with her son, but I don't see him on Facebook. But one of her daughters came over and we met, and she looked just like her mum. It's quite emotional, but it was nice to see her. We met in London. I said to her, if you get to Victoria, I'll meet you in the pub up across the road. So we met up in there. It was quite different. Yeah. But and her daughter's name was Susie too. They had this habit of calling their kids after them. So his name was Daryl. So they had a son called Daryl. And her name was Susie. So their daughter called Susie. What's my favourite colour? It's really hard to have a favourite colour now, because it used to be blue, always blue. And this sort of colour blue, you know, like beautiful blues. All blues are gorgeous. I love blue. But I'm really into just colour now. But I do love blue. Blue is my favourite, I guess. Yeah, but I've really got into, if I'm sort of looking at yarn now, do you remember the one that I sell, the paint box splash? And there's one, that PBX 23, that's got pink, orange and yellow all together, and it's just stunning. So if there's yarn that's got orange or peach in it, I've really been drawn to those colours now. But yeah, blue's my favourite colour, I guess. Yeah. It used to be purple when I was a kid, but I think that was just because Donnie's favourite colour was purple, and I was just like such a Donnie fan, I had to mimic everything he did. Well, not everything. I ain't going to be a Mormon or anything. Tangled in Yarn, Annette, hello. And Kira's Dollhouse Sweets, hello there. Don't forget the thumbs, guys. Blue is a lovely and calming colour. It is as well, but I think as well when I had boys, I suppose, as well, so I had a lot of blue in my life, and it was always a great colour for my eldest son. His colouring, light blues and a lovely minty green, and you know, that kind of turquoise colour always looks so nice on him. But I mean, I love kind of these sort of yarns now where you've got like a mixture of all these really gorgeous colours. I do love that. But I've opened my mind to colour. My mum always used to moan at me, why you always wear black? Why you always wear navy blue? You should be in light colours. It's summer. I'm still in blue. Still in navy, you know. But I do have shirts that are salmon colour, or like a bright minty green, or a blue, or a kind of a dusky purple, you know. She would have loved to have seen it, but of course I never did it while she was around, you know. I was like, no, don't be silly. I'm looking like an old lady. I'll be there in my black. Speaking of paint books, you bought PBX 17 from me and you're struggling to find a stitch pattern. Any ideas? 17, is that the one that's got blues and yellows? Blues and yellows. Have you tried the alpine stitch? Or it's because it's got quite big gaps, I think. I mean, I did swatch up most of them, but I don't think I had that one, if it's the one, when I swatched it. But do you remember when I did all the swatches? Did I have that one? Am I barking up the wrong tree? It might be the colourful one. I can't remember all the numbers. I remember a few, because some of them are mega popular and I always know the numbers of. It is gorgeous, that yarn, isn't it? That Fairyland. I do have some on order for my shop. I managed to get it, but I've just got to wait and see if they send it, because it did say a little disclaimer, should we be out of stock, we might send substitutes. And I thought, you won't be. I don't want to substitute. I've ordered that. What is my favourite brand? Wow. Seem to have a slight allergy to some yarns that make you itch. I have an allergy to some yarns. The ones that have wool in them, and that does have 10% wool. And I am starting to feel my hands are reacting a little bit, but I have been using it a lot. It happens that I get, if I can see it, drying, then I get like a chilblain, and I can just about feel that happening there. So I'll be finished with it soon, and it takes a while for me to get rid. I've got some hand cream in here somewhere. It takes a while for me to get rid of it, but it does go thank goodness. But yeah, at the moment I am starting to feel, because I've been using it, and I feel it kind of catching on a little bit of skin that might peel. Yeah, and I know then I'm starting to react. You've been using it too much. So I'm going to get that finished and I will give it a rest for a bit. But my favourite brand, it's hard to say. I think the brand I use the most yarn from used to be Stylecraft, but a lot of their really beautiful yarns that I used to love, they discontinued, and that wasn't very smart of them. So their special ranges, the nice kind of solid colours, I still use them. But many of their other lines have wool in and I can't use. But they have got a few nice ones that I've bought. But they got rid of Cabaret, they got rid of the Amour. And, you know, there's a lot of yarns that I used to love of theirs. And just recently, I've been more into King Cole because they've brought out some incredible yarns and I've been getting them in my shop. So I haven't got them all yet. But there's others, you know. James C. Brett brought out some lovely new yarns and I got those. So I don't know really in terms of my favourite. It just depends what it looks like and what it feels like. But certainly it used to be that the majority of the yarn that I used was Stylecraft, but it isn't that way anymore. I do like Lion Brand as well. I like the mandalas, especially the 4-weight ones. They're lovely. And if I have to use other people's yarn, I'll just get the sort of Women's Institute. But I'd rather use the Special Aran because it's anti-pilling. So that's why I'd use Special Aran, Special DK from Stylecraft. Yeah, Stylecraft. I thought I'd call them like Style Council or something stupid for a minute. But yeah, I do stock them in my shop because I love them. They are good. They're cheap, they're versatile, and they're hard wearing, which is what you need. What you need. Let's see. Itchy nose, guys. It's that wool. There I am. I'm up to date. Purples and blues are your comfy spot. One of those paint pots yarns is purple and blues, and it is pretty. Thinking of making me a doily. Oh, bless your heart. That would be lovely. Oh, that would be cool. Thank you very much. Check out the ball band, see if it contains wool. Yeah, do that. If it's got alpaca, that tends to be hypoallergenic. So you shouldn't be allergic to alpaca. But most things are blended with alpaca. But, you know, that's very nice, but I'm still reacting. I've been using it a while, though. Very colourful one. Never tried alpine. We'll give it a go. Hi, Mary. Welcome in. Don't forget the thumbie. Got a lot of King Cole trace. It is lovely. You knit hedgehogs with King Cole eyelash. I was going to do one of those with the, not the eyelash, but the tinsel yarn. They had one in the shop when they used to have a shop in Sheerness. And, oh, hang on, I've got an itchy nose. It's the fibres have got up it now. Ugh. So, yeah, she used to have one and it was bright burnt orange colour. Tinsel yarn made into a hedgehog. And I thought, I'm making one of those. But did I ever? No. I didn't. I don't want to click. I clicked something accidentally then. Yeah, using mandala at the moment. It is beautiful. Kay says, thanks to me, she's been able to try some different brands and loving them. Yay! You like James C. Brett and their Stylecraft a lot. Oh, Samantha, hi. Don't forget the thumbie. So yeah, I like trying different brands, I must admit. And I like getting obscure brands like that Fairyland. I do like it. You know, if I find something unusual, I like to bring it to the table. I do. And so yeah, if I can find new and exciting yarns to bring in, I will. But one thing that I really get disappointed with when it comes to yarn that's variegated, for instance, I love the Signet Boho Spirit. Love all of the colours. Absolutely love that yarn. But I would love it if they brought out solid colours that complemented it. So that if, you know, you were using the Wicked, for instance, you could get the purple, the darkest purple, and edge it. And it would be the same yarn. Because, yeah, I can pair it. I can pair it with Special Aran. I could get a Special Aran in that really dark mauve and bring it in and edge it with that. It would have different texture. It would have a totally different texture because the way that that is spun is totally different. And the wound, totally different. It feels almost like a wool, but it's not. So, yeah, totally different type of yarn, and it would notice, you know. So I would love it if they would do that, like bring in solid colours to I think they did it with, like, some do it, like Bellissima. Do you remember when they did Bambino and Bambino prints? They did that. But they tend to do that as baby yarn. You know, they should do it with the adult yarns. Just saying. It would be so much nicer to get a complementary colour that is the same texture. Just me having a moan. Ellen, you like the mandala? That's cool. I like it too. Yeah, it would be nice if they did a boho solid. And if they put glitter in it, yeah, just like replacing the cabaret. That's what they need to do. They were ridiculously stupid, Stylecraft, for getting rid of cabaret. It was my favourite yarn. It really was. I've got loads of it, but I kind of sit on it like it's an egg, hoping it will hatch into more. You know, I got all this, don't use it because there won't be any more. But, you know, I might as well use it. Can't take it with you, can you? It's like money. Can't take it with you. A light turquoise. Yeah, that's lovely. I love turquoise, tea, you know, and teal together. I love all those colours are beautiful. Anything blue and turquoise and teal, they're all yummy. I like those colours. They're my favourites. How long have I been chatting for, guys? Must be a while. It's nearly 2:30. Donna, hi. You almost missed me. Yeah, I've been on a while. Been babbling away in the corner for quite some time. In fact, I feel like I've been babbling away in this corner all day because I have. I did a whip along for an hour. I did my vlog chat and then straight into this. So I have been sitting here getting a numb bum and bumping my gums for everybody for a while. Hi, Vampiric Chaos Witch. Wow, the rainbow is, isn't it? That rainbow yarn is beautiful. I'm feeling a lot better, thank you, Donna. I'm not over it, but you can probably hear it in my voice a bit still. And I know I have a bit of a nose blow now and then. Not that there was much in the way of cold, but I've got my last antibiotic tomorrow, and I hoped that they would get rid of it, but I didn't think they would because they're only 5 days. But it's on its way out, thank goodness. Premier Yarns does that matching solids with prints. That's brilliant. They should do that a lot more. It does sound a lot better, doesn't it? I mean, I couldn't have been speaking for that length of time. Even yesterday, I wouldn't have been able to do that. Make a whip along for an hour, then a chat, and then this, and still not be dying and my voice going. But I did have one of these earlier, my little lockets before I came on. They do silence me. People say to me, they're not medicine, you know. And I go like, no, but they actually work for me. They actually quieten me if I'm coughing or whatever they do, quieten it. If I'm wheezing, they sort it out. So, you know, I love them for that. Really do. It's 14:30 in the UK and boiling hot. Certainly is. But not in here. It's freezing. It's really cold in here. My legs are like, where's a blanket? They are. It's just like, oh, it's not so bad. I've got full legs. I had shorts the other day and I sat here thinking, I need a blanket, you know, but I went out, so I didn't have shorts on. Took my car in. What time is it where we are? Oh, you asked. Yes, it's 14:26 according to phone. You got the curtains closed. Well, yeah, I always do that. Pull the, that's what I used to do before I had aircon. Used to pull the curtains, the coolness then stays trapped in, and I'd have the fan on. I could even crochet then under those conditions. But I had that the other day because, as you know, the aircon started to drip and was in need of servicing. So I didn't use it for a couple of days in the living room. I did in the bedroom because it's fine. But yeah, just had the fan on and it was fine. But I knew that today and tomorrow were going to get much hotter. So I was a bit worried, to be honest with you, that the worst possible time for it to go wrong. But it's all right now, thank goodness. You haven't opened your curtains today? No, I mean, it is pretty mega out there. And I've keep looking at Gary, and the last time I saw him was before I came on. I kind of went out to grab something, my parcel. And when I saw him, he had all fact around his neck, because don't rub it in properly. And he had loads there, so I thought, oh, well, at least he's listening to me for a change. Keep putting on that factor. So you're starting to save in for Advent bags. You know, I thought I'm going to put them on because I'm buying Christmas presents, you know, and I thought maybe I'd do it in July and say Christmas is Christmas in July. I've now put on the Advents and the mystery boxes because, you know, it'll give people time that might want to get them for other people and buy presents gradually. So I thought I might do that soon, might get them put on. And yeah, especially as, you know, in December and like November and December, me and Gary have got 2 holidays booked. It's the worst possible time to go away, and yet I've done it. We've got 2, and I know. I mean, it's not like forever, so I can just say I'll be posting when I get back. It'd be no problem at all. It just might make me a tad busy when I get back, packing and everything else. But you know, got to live, haven't you? That's the thing. And just because I'll be beavering away at work doesn't mean Gary doesn't want to have fun. And girls just want to have fun. It got up to 102 last week in Ohio. And that's not counting humidity. It felt like Satan's oven. Like that. I like that analogy. You love my channel, Samantha. Oh, thank you very much. I love you. And all of you. It is hot, isn't it? God. You know. You're coming to see me. Am I? Am I coming to see you? Or are you not talking to me? Maybe someone else? Oh, I'm going to say hi in the chat again because it keeps nagging me. I'm signed in as CrochetRocks because I was busy as CrochetRocks. I was looking at answering comments and stuff, and I happen to be signed in. It just thinks I'm a lurker. A lurker and a shirker. That's what it thinks I am. So yeah, car must be calling me soon. Because, you know, they've got to tell me how much it's going to be. Hopefully it'll pass and it's not going to be any more than what they've quoted me already, which is about 250 quid. Me? Well, my holidays. They're not the US this time. And you nearly met me when I went to Vegas. You almost, but then you couldn't do it in the end. So you nearly would have met me. Wouldn't that be cool if you had? No, I'm going to on a couple of cruises. We're doing one. Oh, such dry lips. We've got one that is Amsterdam and Rotterdam and Honfleur in France. Do you like the pronunciation? Yeah. Did I do that one? Honfleur. Never heard of Honfleur, but it's in France, south of France, I think, or just France. So Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and Honfleur. And then after that, we've got our proper holiday, which was the first one we booked, the first cruise we ever booked, but it was so far away at the time. Now it's looming, obviously, it's coming up. and it is to Gran Canaria, Lanzarote, not Tenerife, Portugal, and Madeira. It was going to go to Tenerife, but they've only got a small port and they oversubscribed it, so they had to cancel some of it. So we're having 2 in Lisbon instead. Two days. So stopping over longer in Lisbon. So yeah, that's then. And it's we've been with Ambassador, and the other cruise that we got booked is Ambassador. And then we've got to go with that one is P&O. We've got to go all the way to Southampton. I booked a hotel, so we'll be there early enough. A bit nervous about going on that one. I don't know why. And I feel like now I know Ambassador, so I'm looking forward to the Ambassador one. And then in spring of next year, we've got another one. And that is Scandinavia with Ambassador. So yeah, I hate flying, guys. That's why. So now I've discovered the sea is what we're cruising, man. We're cruising from now on. So unfortunately, to actually cruise all the way to the USA, it's going to be a round the world trip, isn't it? So, but you know, I'm not saying I'll never fly again. I'm not saying I'll never go to the US again. But at this precise moment in time, the person you see before you is back to being terrified of flying. I'm always terrified of flying, really. I am. How long have you been working with crochet? I'm new to your channel. I've been crocheting since I was 6 years old. My mum taught me to crochet and to knit. But when did I start my channel? I reckon it's got to be like 6 years ago. Let me have a look. How do I find that? Your channel. Hopefully it's got no volume. No. More. Used to be like an about, didn't there? Okay. Does it tell me? Oh, joined the 26th of June, 2019. So quite a while now I've had this. And I've got 2 other channels, Hobby Rocks and Rocksteady. Yeah. But, wow. And in that time, although I've got rid of a few that are not there, I've got 2,268 videos. I've had 2,255,987 views. That's a lot of views. So yeah, where am I? Go back to my channel. Studio. There we go. So anytime soon, I'm now at 30,448 subscribers. So when I get to the 500, I'll do another giveaway. And where are we? Hang on a sec. I've got to go back. Hang on. New to my channel. There we go. Kerry says she's kidding, but it would have been great. Haven't come over to your channel for quite some time, but back on my craft kick now. That's Aussie Robin. I remember Aussie Sandy. Did you have a different name? Or have you always had that name? Oh, yeah, it would have been. It was your birthday. Hi, Begonia. Good morning from Wisconsin. Just found my beginner series and you're looking forward to... Oops. Why did you touch it? Now you got to find it again. Oh, for God's sake. I preferred the way they used to do these. Look forward to reviewing those. Looking forward to all your videos of different places. Oh, yeah, I'll be doing that. Love to go to Norway, see the Northern Lights. Me too. We were thinking about booking up a Northern Lights one when all these are done and dusted. Someone introduced it to you so young. Yeah, it is. And I taught Sophia. She's 9. So I would have taught her earlier, but I didn't really see them that much. And I think, you know, when someone's ready, they pick it up. But she was a bit half-assed about it. So, oh, did I say that? A bit Arthur nor Martha. So I kind of gave it up at that point and reintroduced it a little while ago, and she has took it on, and she's really flying. Her latest thing that she's making, she went from, oh look, I've made your granny square. Now she's making one of those bouquet blankets in a big circle, putting flowers all the way around the edge. She's really doing well, and she bought yarn from that pink variegated yarn from Home Bargains to do it with. Yeah, doing really well. Just booked a cruise next year, going to France and Spain. I do love a cruise now. I do, I have to say. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Donna. That is so nice of you. Oh my goodness, what did I kick? What did I press then? I think I've reached the end. So don't touch anything. It's like, you know, you have to touch it and it goes somewhere else. Oh God, I've missed more now. I am feeling a lot better, thank you, Jennifer. It's not gone, but a lot better. I can actually sit and talk here all day. I've been sitting here chatting for hours and hours and hours. Not just on this live, but I did a whip along, and then I did my chat blog, which is tomorrow's, and I showed some yarn in it. And now I'm doing this, so I've actually, it's held out. It's a bit scratchy, but I am a lot better. A lot better. Nearly choked then. You know what I'm saying? I'm a lot better. Nearly choked on my own saliva. Hang on a minute. Need a drink. Do you know what I live in fear of? Doing that and spilling it all down myself. I used to have quite a bit of material for outtakes. You know, blooper reel. Do you remember the day, those of you like Kerry might have been with me for a while, and Suzanne and maybe a few others that have been here quite some time, I fell off my chair once. It was quite funny because I was in Krista from the Secret Yarneries live once, and she knew us all. We were regulars, and she sat on her chair, and she used to call it her assassination chair because it gave way, and she kind of sat down and just slid further onto the floor. And she was like, oh, you know, kind of like a bit embarrassed about it. I said it's her assassination chair. And then I was doing a live stream one evening, and she came in. She came into my live stream. And I was like, oh my goodness, that Krista's here. And I was chatting and everything else. And all of a sudden, my stool that I was on, it had a very wonky leg, and I should never have used it. You know, I should have known. But it just gave way from underneath me. My little legs come up in the air. And yeah, it was I called it my Del Boy moment. Remember Del Boy on the, yeah. So, yeah, if you don't know, that's Only Fools and Horses, and he leans on a bar, and the person's opened the serving hatch thing, or to come out, and when he leans, he just goes straight on the floor. So, yeah, I called it my Del Boy moment, and when I got rid of all my old lives, I kept that in a short, and it's a short that's entitled What Not to Do on a Live Stream. You always miss your mouth. I just choke on fresh air or spit. You know, it's a special talent. You know, but I've got it. Yeah, I do miss my mouth sometimes, but usually when, you know, in polite company when you don't want to do it. Yeah. So yeah, if you want to see that, it's there on my. It's actually in my shorts. I did do it in style. So you were there, were you? Oh my goodness. Remember that with the stool. Hi, Rhonda. Welcome in. Don't forget the thumbie. Anyone who's not thummied, that is. So yeah, it was funny, but at the same time, it was excruciatingly embarrassing. But because Krista from the Secret Yarnery was in, and you know, she she obviously thought, oh, Tracy comes into mine, I'll go in hers, and just like her, I fell off my chair. It was like I paid homage to Krista, who fell off hers, and she witnessed me falling off mine in style, legs in the air. I'm going, all right, guys, I'm here, I'm alive. But goodness me, yeah. But you know, I could have deleted it, but I didn't. I made a feature on it. And when shorts came about, I thought, oh, I'm taking that out and putting it in a short. But I needed to get rid of all my old live streams. I had so many videos that I'd amassed, and I thought I'll just delete them. I'll do these ones again. So, you know, I've been building them up again, as I don't usually get in and delete them. So I let people watch the replay and then just forget them. So I will take them out. People used to love watching my old ones. I don't know why, but people say, oh, don't get rid of them. I always watch them. Thinking like, why would you watch old ones? Because I don't do new ones, that's why. So yeah, we'll start doing them again. Your Snowy Cat's going to check it out. Yeah, it was cool. It was a very good live stream, I must admit. Yes, it was not great, but it was funny. I don't mind leaving funny stuff in. I always leave my mistakes in where I can. You need to see that. It sounds like something you do, Ellen. It was funny, I have to say. Yeah. No, I washed my hair and it went really nice. All this bit, it went really silky and soft. Just a bit kind of humid at the ends, if you know what I mean. But it's too hot to have hair around you. Well, actually, because I have aircon, I could have kept my hair out, couldn't I? But I just couldn't be bothered to straighten it. It would have been so hot to do that. Hi, Ms. Monica. Welcome. Don't forget the thumb. So yeah. I've got a good sturdy chair today. Not going to happen anymore. That was so funny. But the stupid thing is, it was a three-legged chair in a way, because the other, it was just hanging off. I don't know what possessed me. It was just a good height, you know, for the camera. I used to do it in the living room back then. Didn't have a yarn room, and I used to struggle to find a place with good lighting. And then I learned how to do lighting without any money, and now I've never looked back. I always just use the same techniques. I did do videos on that, how to do lighting without a lighting rig and all that. Oh, I have to laugh at myself. Excuse me. Hi, Marianne. How are you? Don't forget the thummy. So, yeah, I've always had that ability. I think when it was, you know, to be honest, as a child, I had ginger hair. I mean, you can still see that it's got some red in it, I think. But yeah, ginger hair and freckles galore. So you had to develop a thick skin or an ability to laugh, or you'd cry all the time with all the teasing. But also, I developed a bit of a hard shell. Well, it seemed that way, that people would look and think, she might bash me if I say that. Which kind of I liked, to be honest, because it saved me from a lot of torment. You know, I did get tormented quite a bit. But once people thought she might bash me, they would stop it. So yeah, I wouldn't have bashed them. That's the thing. I was quite amiable, but because I'd exuded this air of confidence, because I had this, you know, I was always laughing and always making jokes, and people just looked upon me as a very confident person, when in fact I was not. I was much the opposite, totally not a confident person. But yeah, I didn't mind that at all. It saved me from getting laughed at more. Laughing at myself was much better than being laughed at. I was, oh, you were? Oh, and you was my first member as well. But yeah, you're so sweet. I do love you, Kerry. She's such a sweetheart. If you haven't subscribed to Kerry, she has a channel and she does Yarny Bingo and always does live streams. So if you're ever in need of someone to chat to that's a genuine person, then she is there, crocheting away. And sometimes she has people with her, but sometimes it's just Kerry. And got a lot of time for our Kerry. I do. A lot of time for Kerry. It's a shame we didn't meet up that time. It would have been cool. I did wonder how you'd get there though, but it would have been cool. But she does get out and about. You do those kind of yarn things, don't you? What they kind of like when they do it. I guess we would say like when they do something like Yarndale in the UK, and you go off there usually with Mara, wasn't it? And you do these things, but cool. I mean, I'd like to do some kind of fair one day. People ask me why I don't do them. like Gary's always on at me, you should do craft fairs, you should do craft fairs. And I say, well, I want to go to one first and suss it out and see how people do it. And then maybe I would take some yarn along and some flyers and, you know, some for my channel, some for my shop, and promote it. Maybe if I knew what I was doing there, I could do it. Get some t-shirts made and some stuff and, you know, get yourself out there. But I need to go first and see what people do. So, and I've never gone. And I keep meaning to one day. And I think if I had a yarny friend or a yarny sister, then I would obviously be dragged along to stuff, and it would be something to do, wouldn't it? But I still have never gone, and I really, really must do it one day. I do need to. You love doing the craft fairs. See now, Sylvia, maybe we could go. What do you think? She, oh God, no, I don't want you dragging along. Cramping the style. Yeah, definitely check Kerry out. Definitely. Oh my goodness, you said you were going to Amsterdam, and it reminded me of that movie. You. And I watched Emmerdale because of you. And now you're hooked. Oh. Emmerdale is my favourite. Ah, you'd love to, but you're too far away. I'm at the food festival in Ham Street on Sunday. Food festival sounds like one for Gary, doesn't it? Not that, I mean, it's make it sound like he doesn't stop eating, but he does love his food. Hi, Helen. Good to see you. Don't forget the thummy. I mean, he does. He's a very, 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 excuse me, very good cook, is our Gary. Very, very good cook. And I hate having to be the one that cooks because he's so good at it. I'm not saying I'm bad, though. I'm a good cook. I actually, you know, make pretty decent dinners. But he is a perfectionist. A real perfectionist when he cooks. And everything he does is lovely. The story about Delia Balmer. Have I missed this? Hang on. I don't know. I can't find that bit. Thanks so much for the warm welcome. I will binge your videos after work. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope so too. I don't really want it back. I mean, I think, to be honest, although it wasn't nice, no virus is, the fact that it wasn't such a bunged up congestion, I was thankful for, you know, because that's when they're a misery, especially in the summer. You know, nothing worse than a horrible summer cold. So the fact that it didn't really have a cold for me. And, you know, I've said this before. I watched this program once about viruses and how they go around the population. So it is possible this does have a horrible cold attached to it, but it's a cold I've had and I've got antibiotics for it. And so I don't have that part. Because as viruses go around the population, they pick up, it's like when they did this documentary on it, they called it like they put on jackets. So you've got a cold, it goes around the population and it meets someone who's already got a nice sore throat. So it puts on that jacket and it goes off merrily around the population. And then it meets someone who's got a cough. So then it puts on that jacket. So you've got now a sore throat, a cough and a cold. And it gets back to the person who had the cold and they just get a sore throat and a cough. Because they've had that cold. And then it goes off around the population and it meets someone who's got the pups. And it now puts on that jacket. So it goes around the population, and if you've not had it before, you get the lot. But if you've had all of the other things, you just get the pups, you know. That's how it works. Anyway, that's how these things go. They go around the population putting on jackets. So hopefully, if it had a cold, I've already had that. Oh, you got another sub, Kerry. Oh, bless you. Thank you for that. Yeah. So yeah, she's always there for a chat. If you've got nothing to do and you're just crocheting and you want a good chat, there she'll be sitting in her crocheting away. So you won't regret it. You won't regret it. Oh, the first cough I've had all day. When is Emmerdale going to put John away already? It's so crazy. Yeah, but don't you just love it? I mean, I want Robert to. I think he'll almost kill Robert. Oh, Robert will suss him. He was half onto him anyway, wasn't he? Didn't I sound common when I said that? I did. I sounded really common. Do apologise. I'm nowhere near as common as that. What it is I come from Edmonton, you see, and when I'm either on my way back to London, the Edmonton comes out. Don't know why. As soon as it's like a geographical thing in my body. As soon as I get anywhere within a stone's throw of London, the Edmonton comes out. And if I'm really comfortable with people, the Edmonton comes out. So, but my Edmonton isn't like the Edmonton that I used to have as a child or other people's Edmonton, because I've been watered down in the Kent dialect for too long. So it's a bit of a half Edmonton. If I was and even when I was in Edmonton, I don't think I actually spoke as like a lot of them did. I was on the way. I can remember my mum used to say, "Tracy, it's water. It's not water." And I'd go like, well, obviously I hear water. I hear it from you. So that might be why I say it. But people from Edmonton don't even call it that. They call it Edmonton. Edmonton. No T's in it. Not even many N's. Edmonton. That was, I can remember sitting there. Then someone saying, "Oh yeah, I like Edmonton." Edmonton. Yeah. But and I didn't speak like that. I don't think I ever said that. Well, probably didn't have any cause to as a child when we left. I think I moved away when I was 9. But yeah, want John to get caught. I really want John to get caught, but at the same time, I like the villains being there, you know. But I want Robert and Aaron back together, you know. I just want Robert and Aaron together. I think they're like, you know, move over John. Robert's back. That's the thing. And yeah, he is a wronger though. He's killed so many people by trying to be the paramedic, isn't he? Wanting to be the hero, and not everybody's hero, is he? But I wondered if that bloke in the hospital from his past was going to wake up again and come out of another coma. And he was adamant that he's not coming out of it again. That, you know, that's it. But I think, will he wake up and spill the beans about John? Something's got to happen that exposes all of his past. You can't imagine that he would volunteer that information. Although he did say to Robert, "You've no idea what I'm capable of," and that's true. He didn't. But yeah, I do love that. I love Emmerdale. I mean, I'm not a fan of EastEnders. It's too a bit grim and dark at places for me. Although I think they've come away from that now. And Corrie I watch, but yeah, I don't care if I miss it. But I won't miss Emmerdale. If it doesn't record an Emmerdale, I will go and watch it on catch up. I don't think I'd bother with Corrie. You know, you can miss an episode and still be fine. Although, you know, when they've got a good storyline going on, they're all pretty decent. But I've gave up EastEnders when Lola was in it and having a baby, and they were going to take the baby away from her and give it to Phil Mitchell. It just wouldn't happen. You know, it just wouldn't happen. And I had to get rid of it. And needs to go to the psych ward for a bit. Oh, thanks, Sylvia. Thanks for coming. I'm going to have to go soon anyway, because I need to go check on Gary, make him a drink. It's nearly 3 o'clock, so I've been babbling away in the corner for quite some time. It's been lovely. I will definitely do them again. And you know, next time I might do the garden. It just needs to be quieter. And I've no idea how to end this. Usually there's a button, but it's just so full screen. I'm going to try my best to end this, guys. It might take a while. So thanks for coming and spending some time with me. It's been great. I've loved every minute of it. I'll see you again soon. Take care. Hopefully, bye-bye for now. This might do it. Are you sure you want to stop? Hey, I got it there. Thank you very much. Love you all. Bye for now.